Good morning, students. Good morning, students. Today we coming to the new topic, that is gear trains. Then, first of all, we need to know what is a gear. The gear, it is a mechanical device in order to effective slipping and to reduce the velocity ratio of the system. In the previous chapters, we discussed about there is a friction of elements which are of higher pair and lower pair. Actually, what is a higher pair? When the contact of any two surfaces are in the point contact. So in that case, we may call it as a higher pair. Here, the gears is also having the higher pair contact only. Since the, the gears will be having the contact of the gear teeth, which are point contact. Then in the precision machines in which a defined velocity ratio is of importance, in that we can see in the watch mechanism, the only positive drive is by means of gears or the toothed wheels. So the gear drive is also provided when the distance between the driver and the follower is very limited. So whenever the distance between the follower and the same time driver is minimum, we may go for the gear system. Okay, then what is a gear train? So up to now we know that what is a gear. So it is a velocity ratio without slipping, and then which is having the follower and the driver of the smaller distance. Then now coming to what is a gear train. That means in most of the cases the two or more gears are made to mesh with each other to transmit the power from one shaft to another shaft. So, in order to move the power from one shaft to another, there is a gear system will be there. So, in these gears, when we are using more number of gears, that is minimum gear train is two. So, if it is two or more gears, to transmit the power from one shaft to another shaft. Such combination is known as gear train or train of toothed wheels. But we know that the gear trains, what we are having till now, those are all depending upon the velocity ratios which are required and relative motion of the axis of the shaft. So, for example, we may say most of the useful gears are spur gear, bevel gear, and spiral gears. So, these are the main varieties of the gears we are having. Now, coming to types of gear trains. We know that the gear train is nothing but whenever two or more gears are connecting or those are all contact with each other, that is called as a gear train. But depending on the arrangement, depending on the arrangement of the wheels, here wheels means gears. So depending on the arrangement of the gears or wheels, they are segregated to four varieties. One is simple gear mechanism, I mean simple gear train, compound gate train, reverted gate train, and epicyclic gate train. See, simple, compound, reverted. Last one is the epicyclic. So here the first three trains, that is the first three types of trains, simple, compound, and reverted. The axis of the shafts, the axis of the shafts over which the gears are mounted or fixed relative to each other. That means for what the axis of the gears and the shaft are connected, those are all in the fixed to each other. Suppose if you consider two gears, those are all connected to driven shaft and the driving shaft. There the axes are relatively fixed. That means no movement in the gearing system. Okay. But in case of epicyclic gear train, the axis of the shaft on which the gears are mounted, they may be moved relative to each other. Okay. So whenever the axis of the gears or the axis of the shafts on which the gears are presented, when they are fixed means simple compound reverted gear, and when they are moved relative to a fixed point or fixed axis, that may call it as epicyclic gear train. Now let us discuss one by one. So now we will discuss about the simple gear train. When there is only one gear on each shaft, when there is only one gear on each shaft, that is called it as a simple gear train. Simple. In the name itself, we know that. Simple. Now, if you see the diagram, the gears are represented by their pitch circles diameter. So, when there is for each shaft, we are having only one gear. Now, if you see in this diagram, there is a gears arrangement when the distance between two shafts is very limited or very small. Two gears, see here, one is the driver and the second one is the driven or the follower. So when the distance between the two shafts is small, the two gears, that is gear 1 and the gear 2, and the gear 1 and the gear 2 are meshed to be each other. Then they transmit the motion from one shaft to another shaft. See here, the driver, that is the gear 1, which is rotating in the clockwise direction, and the corresponding driven, that is the follower, which is rotating in the anti-clockwise direction. So here the gear 1 drives the gear 2. So that's why the gear 1 is called it as a driver and the gear 2 is called it as a follower or the driven. It may be noted that the motion of the driven gear is opposite to the motion of the driving gear. So here, if you see clearly observe the diagram, the motion of the driven gear is opposite to the motion of the driving gear. Okay, then now coming to let N1 be the speed of the gear, which is the driver, gear 1, which is in RPM, and N2 be the speed of the gear 2, that is follower in RPM. The T1 and T2 be the number of teeth on the gear 1 and the gear 2 respectively. Then since there is a speed ratio or velocity ratio of the gear is the ratio of the speeds of the driver to the driven. See, we need to remember the formula speed ratio or velocity ratio. That is speed ratio is equals to the ratio of speed of the driver to the speed of the driven and the ratio of speeds of the gear which is in the mesh is reverse of the number of teeth. So what is the equation? Speed ratio is equals to n1 by n2 is equals to the reverse of the teeth. So t2 by t1. Then it may be noted that the ratio of speed of the driven or the follower to the speed of the driver is known as a train value. That means the reciprocal of speed ratio is the train value. So reciprocal means 1 by speed ratio, or n2 by n1 is equals to, automatically the teeth also will be changing, t1 by t2. So if you see, the train value is the reciprocal of speed ratio. Sometimes the distance between the sometimes the distance between the two gates is large. Suppose when the distance between the two gates is large, then what to do? Means the motion from one gate to another gate in such cases is transmitted by two conditions. So if the distance between two gates is small, means there is no gap between the gates. So it is a very limited. The gate 1 and gate 2 are directly connected. But if there is a chance of the distance between driver and the driven is large, we may go for the two possible conditions. One is by providing the large gate size. By providing the large gate size. Then second one, by providing one or more intermediate gates. So that we will call it as here latter method and former method. So either of these two methods we can applicable here. So a little consideration is providing is that in the former method, so in the former method, that is providing the larger size gates, it is very inconvenient and it will be the uneconomical method. So since means for designing of, for making of huge number of gates, it is very difficult, and the teeth of the gear is to be very sharp. If any teeth was damaged, means the entire gear not be used for the transmission. So it is very inconvenient and uneconomical method. So whereas latter method, that means by providing the intermediate one or more gates, so it is very economical and the very convenient one. So for that, now we are explaining, it may be noted that when the number of intermediate gates are odd, see in the diagram, in the first diagram, if you see the B diagram, they driven and the driver are presented. In between these two, a smaller gear, only one will be presented. If you see the C diagram C, the driver and the driven, in between these two, we put 2. That means in the B figure, we mentioned 1, and the C figure, we mentioned 2. That means the intermediate gates are odd. That means if you see the figure P, the motion of both the gates, the motion of the both the gates, that means the driver and the driven is same. See here in the previous case, if you observe, if you observe the gear system, see here, if you observe the gear system, the driver and the driven are rotating in the opposite direction. Now, when we presented a odd gear, that means odd number of gears in between the driver and the driven, then the driver and the driven will be rotating in the same direction. That is, when the driver is rotating, driven also rotating in the clockwise direction. Okay. But if the number of intermediate gates are even, that means C, the motion of the driver and the driven will be in the opposite direction. Okay, now let us consider a simple train of gates which we discussed in the B figure. So for that, we need to calculate what is the velocity ratio, and similarly for the second figure, that is figure C also, we are calculating the velocity ratio or speed ratio. What is the speed ratio? That is n1 by n2 is equals to t2 by T1. Now that is only for driver and the driven are presented. Now there is an intermediate gear is presented, then how it will be look like. Now let us see. Let us consider N1 be the speed of the driver and N2 be the, see here how many number of gears? 3 gears, 1, 2, 3. 1 is the driver, 3 is the driven, 2 is the intermediate gear. So for that we are explaining N1 is the speed of the driver, N2 is the speed of the intermediate gear, N3 is the speed of the driver. Then at the same time T1 with the T1, T2, T3 with the number of teeth on the driver and the intermediate gear and driven or follower respectively. So now follow the speed ratio. So here we are applying the speed ratio only for 2 gates, isn't it? So as we know that there is a combination here. What is the combination? Is here driver, that is gear 1 is the driver which rotates the intermediate gear. So there is a combination between 1 and 2 only. Okay. So firstly we are taking the consideration of the combination driver 1 and the intermediate gear, that is 2. Since if you see the combination driver, that is gear 1 is the driver, if you clearly observe driver, that is gear 1 is rotating or directly contacting with the gear 2 only. So for the set of 1, that means for the combination, first combination, gear 1 is the driver and gear 2 is the driven. Okay. For the set 1, gear 2 is the driven. So what is the speed ratio or velocity ratio for the set 1? N1 by N2 is equals to T2 by T1. Now it was clear. Then again, similarly, there is another combination. 2 is directly contacting with the another shaft, that is 3. Gear 2 is contacting with the gear 3. Now in this case, the gear 2 is the driver and gear 3 is the driven. So for this is a direct one. Now the intermediate gear 2 is meshes with the gear 3. Therefore the speed ratio, what is the speed ratio? In the previous case N1 by N2. Now it is N2 by N3 is equals to T3 by T2. So by combining these two combinations, that is 1 2 plus 2 3. Okay, like that the speed ratios of the gate train is obtained by multiplying the previous two. Okay, the combination 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. By multiplying means N1 by N2 into N2 by N3 is equals to T2 by T1 into T3 by T2. So in that case, what are the things we may cancelled? N1 by N3 is equals to T3 by T1. That is the final resultant value. So those in this case, if you see clearly observe T2 gets cancelled and N2 N2 will be gets cancelled. Now what is the finally what we have achieved? That speed ratio is equals to the speed of the driver to the speed of the driven equal to number of teeth on the driven by number of teeth on the driver. So as it is the formula what we have achieved now, the same formula we applicable in the simple gate trains also. Simple gate train means when the two gates are present. Okay, this is also a different combination for simple gate train. When the two gates are presented or when the three gates are presented, whatever it may be, the combination is same. In the same way, it may be proved that the above equation will be holds good even if there are any number of intermediate gates. That means how many number of gates, that is not our requirement. One is the driver and the driven. In between these two, how many number of gates, it is not bother about that. So at the same time, what is the train value? Train value means reciprocal of the reciprocal of the speed ratio. What is the speed ratio? Driver to driven speed. Here, driven to driver speed equal to teeth of driver to driven. And then finally, what we may suggest that it is independent of size and the number of intermediate gears. So if you see these two values not depending on the size of the gear and how many number of intermediate gears, those two are negligible here. So these intermediate gears will be called as ideal gears. So even though they are presented, but they are not be considered. So that in that case they may called ideal gears. Why means they don't affect the speed ratio or train value of the system. The ideal gears are used for the following two purposes. But why we need to put up these two? I mean the intermediate gears means there is a two purposes we already discussed. That is, one is where the larger distance. I mean where there is a larger distance, the gears gap is very large. To gap up these center distance is to be required, and at the same time to obtain the desired direction of the motion of the driven gear. That is, we need to rotate the uh, driven gear in the clockwise when the driver is also rotating in the clockwise. I mean, driver is rotating clockwise and the driven is also to be rotating in the clockwise means we need to put one intermediate gear, one intermediate, that is odd number of gears is to be presented, intermediate gears. Otherwise, if you need to rotate the driven opposite to the direction of driver means we need to insert the even number of intermediate gears. So for that purpose only, we need to put up the intermediate gears. Other than this, no use. Okay. Then coming to next one, when the compound gear. Compound gear means when there are more than one gear is on the same shaft. That means over the one shaft only one gear is presented means that is simple. Now over the one shaft more than one gear is presented means that is called compound gear. Okay, compound gear of train. Now in the previously we discussed about the ideal gears in the simple gear train, which doesn't affect the speed of the ratio of the system, but these gears are useful for the bridging of the space between the driver and the driven. Okay, then but over the distance of the but whenever the distance between the driver and the driven or the follower has to be bridged over the intermediate gate and at the same time a great speed ratio is to be required, then the advantage of these intermediate gates is by providing a compound gates on the intermediate shafts. So we need to consider basically the intermediate gates are not be useful for any purposes except the creating the gap and at the same time rotation only. And at the same time if you need these intermediate gates to be affecting in the speed ratio, in that case we may go for the compound gates. So in this case each intermediate shaft has two gates rigidly fixed to it so that they may have the same speed. Okay, and then one of these gates are meshes with the driver and the other is with the driven, then it is attached. So if you see this diagram, gear work in the compound gear of system, if you see the diagram, the gear 1 is the driving gear which is mounted on the shaft A, and the gear 2 and gear 3. See here, gear 2 and gear 3 are the compound gears which are mounted on the same shaft B. So the shaft B is having two gears, 2 and 3. So 2 and 3 it is a compound gear. And at the same time, the 4 and 5 gear is also a compound gear since which are mounted on the shaft C. And the gear 6 that is the driven. So end of the thing is driven. So the fix that is driven is mounted on which the shaft D. So only one gear is presented. So driver is a simple gear and the driven is also a simple gear. That means one shaft on, sorry, one gear is on one shaft. One shaft is having two gears, that is a compound gear. So 2, 3 and 4, 5 are the compound gears. Now let us consider the velocity ratio or the speed ratio to be discussed for the compound gear. In this, what is the N1 and N2 with the means? N1 with the speed of the driving gear and T1 with the number of teeth on the driving gear. And N2, N3, N4, N5, N6 are the speeds of the respective gears in the RPM. And T2, T3, T4, T5, T6 with the number of teeth on the respective gears. So here what is the main thing is 1 is the driver, 6 is the driven. So we can say these 2, 3 and 4, 5 are called the intermediate gears, but they here these intermediate gears will be for establishing the gear ratio or we need to get some more speed. So for that we are implementing. So here these are all not called as intermediate gears. We may call it as compound gears. So since the gear 1 is in meshes with the gear 2. See the diagram. Gear 1 is meshes with the gear 2. Therefore, what is the speed ratio? N1 by N2 is equals to T2 by T. Then, similarly, gear 3 and gear 4 is also meshes. 3 means N3 by N4 is equals to T4 by T3. 5 and 6, they are in contact. So, speed ratio is N5 by N6 is equals to T6 by T5. Then finally, what is the compound ratio? I mean, compound gate train speed ratio is to be obtained by multiplying all these equations. So 1, 2, 3 are multiplied N1 by N2 into N3 by N4 into N5 by N6 is equals to T2 by T1 into T4 by T3 into T6 by T5 or otherwise see here N2 and N3. That means what is the speed of N2? That is speed of the gear 2. And what is the speed of gear 3? Since the gear 2 and gear 3 are in the common shaft. So the shaft is rotating means with the speed and the same time the gear 2 and gear 3 is also rotating with the same speed. So the speed of N2 and N3 are equal. So they may get cancelled. Since the gears 2 and 3 are mounted on the same shaft, therefore N is equals to N3. In the same way, N4 and N5. See, N4 and N5 means in the diagram, N4, I mean 4th, 5th gears are mounted on the shaft C. So N4 is equals to N5. So they may get also cancelled. So N1 by N6 is equals to T2 into T4 into T6 by T1 into T3 into T5. So the same thing we can write it in the sentence format, that is the speed ratio is equals to speed of the first driver to the speed of the last driven. Speed of the first driver to the speed of the last driven or the following is equals to product of teeth on the drivens to the product of the number of teeth on the drivers. See, if you see the diagram, the driver means what? The one is the driver, so that is T1. T3, that is the gear 3 is the driver for the 4. So here T1, I mean the gear 1 is the driver. What is the driven means? T1 is the driver, T2 is the driven. So driven means which is rotating by the first gear, and T2 is the driver. So T3 is the driver for the gear 4. So like that, there is a speed product of the number of teeth on the driver is the T1 into T3 into T5. Then the advantage of compound gate train is, what the simple gate train is, that a much larger speed of reduction from the first shaft to larger shaft can be obtained with the very smaller gates. If the simple gate train is to be used to give the larger speed, there is a reduction is very large. So usually for a speed reduction, we may use the compound gate train instead of simple gate train. Okay, or otherwise this compound gear, another name called warm gearing. So warm gearing. So in this class we discussed about the, finally we discussed about the what is a gear and what are the gate trains, how the gate trains were formed, and why we need to go for the gate trains. Then at the same time, what are the types of gearing? What are the types of gate trains, and what is a simple compound? Those two were discussed in the today's class. In the next class, we may see the rest of the gate train model. Okay, thank you.